Well, this week we have the pleasure of being joined by women's basketball head coach Doug Bruno. Doug, thank you so much for joining us here on the Blue Demon Download. Can you take us what it was like through the past season where you win the Big East tournament? There is no NCAA tournament through no fault of your own or your team's. And then this year you're able to get back to a full schedule, but at times in the year you have games postponed, you have opponents canceled. Just what was this past year like for someone who's coached so many different seasons?
You're as much as you're prepared for your seasons, Leo. And I've been preaching and teaching my players from the get-go, from as long as I've been coaching, that every year has a life of its own. Every game has a life of its own. It's become a Bruno cliche. It's not a cliche. It's a truism of the sport we choose to coach. And yet you would never anticipate what happened in this last year. We literally won a Big East championship on March 9th. We qualified for our 18th consecutive NCAA tournament. And we also were in a place to be hosting 2 home games. We had a chance. We had won 28 games. We had a really good team that was playing really well at the crunch time of the season. And we were also defending well, rebounding well, which is two ingredients of playing well in March. And you finish that great championship Big East win at Wintrust on the 9th. Our staff went out and recruited hard on the 10th, hard on the 11th. We were in homes. And then we were back here on the 12th to reassemble with our team. And then all of a sudden you find out that the whole season's going to be blown up. And here's this group that has a chance to win 30 games. They have a chance to host 2 NCAA tournament games, and the season is blown up. And basically we got something done that night. Our staff, we figured, hey, they're not going to be able to say, the NCAA didn't declare we couldn't be off campus in a home visit for one more day. So we hustled out and got into a home that night. And then basically the players had to all start dealing with, we had to deal with it on the 12th, the toughness, especially for Kelly Campbell and Shante Stonewall. These are 2 fabulous seniors, 2 of the best seniors we've ever had in the program. And now they're not going to get to play in the NCAA tournament they earned as seniors. And they were really juiced and ready because they had made 3 tournaments and had some success, but we didn't have success in 19. And we feel like we blew an opportunity to get in the Sweet 16 and 18. So those 2 seniors were really rip-raring and ready to go. And now it's all blown up. Everybody goes home, and now you're at home for all these months. We don't get to prepare in April. We don't get to prepare in May. And we don't get to do anything in June, July. Team starts to reassemble. Now you got to segue to this year's team. And our this year's squad, the 21 squad, I'm so proud of them because we asked them for COVID discipline. The city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, DePaul University had some very strict COVID discipline requirements. And our players were our team was the only Big East team to never have been put on pause the entire season. And you just alluded to the ups and downs that the season brought to it. But I'm just still so proud of this 21 team for their COVID discipline, for what they did from a COVID perspective to make sure that they were able to play when the bell rang.
How challenging was it to navigate with this team, which, as you said, you were doing all you could to control, make sure that you weren't causing games to be delayed, but sometimes it's out of your control. And just at times you get the email, I'm sure, saying, hey, this game's postponed. Just how challenging was it, especially for your players, to navigate it when, for the most part, they're on campus alone and just trying to get through this season?
No, it was very difficult for these players. They got to come to practice, and they were magnificent in practice. There was never a day where they were down, or they brought their energy, they brought their enthusiasm, they brought in their competitiveness every day to practice. So I just really can't say enough about what they brought to practice every day. But your question about the games, first of all, just getting the schedule together. Dwayne Peavy, our new AD, did a great job of helping us. He gave us a charter to go grab the Louisville game, with about a 3-day notice to go grab a Louisville game to go play on national television. We don't play well, but at the same time, we had to scramble Texas A&M when we played a 2-point game. We had to scramble Kentucky, who was top 10 in the nation, and we beat them. And so we had to scramble these games because a couple of our traditional top-ranked opponents couldn't play us this year. So we had to grab these extra games. And then, our players, we got out to a 13-4 start. And that's in spite of not knowing, games. You talked about emails. You weren't getting emails. You were getting, the phone. We were literally on the tarmac at Midway, and we weren't allowed to get on our charter because the screening crew at Midway was off with another flight. Guess what? They were screening LeBron and the Lakers to get on a flight. So LeBron took precedence over us. While we were waiting to get screened to get on our charter to fly to play Xavier, we get the phone call that you can't go because there's not going to be a game because Xavier can't play because they just got paused. So, these notices weren't even emails. They were just, you think you're playing, you don't know you're playing until you're warming up and you see your opponent there warming up and nothing crazy's happened yet.
What's this offseason like for your program now? I know this season didn't end the way that your program's accustomed to it coming to an end. You're trying to get back to the NCAA tournament, but now you're not just going to high school homes. You're also navigating this newfound water of the transfer portal. So what's this like for you? I know you already have a couple exciting transfers coming in, but what's this offseason?
Well, first of all, the players worked so hard. And yes, it did not end the way we're used to. And it did not end the way we're accustomed to ending our seasons. But I think there's a great lesson learned that when you have a great season, the difference between having a really good season and a really mediocre season is 8, 9, 10 games that can go either way. And when you have a season that ended this year for us, by our standards, it ended poorly, then those same 7 or 8 games, 6 or 7 games could have gone either way, and we weren't able to make them go our way. And so I think that's a great lesson to be learned, is that just because historically you've earned the right to play in 18 straight tournaments, nothing is guaranteed the following year. So hopefully our players learn that lesson. We had to send them home. We had to get them away for April and May just to get their minds recovered, just to get their mental state recovered. And so, the season ended and literally we just said, go home. And they studied and they did their homework virtually from afar, but we had to get them out of here because they just had been looking at the same 4 walls for all season long. And so we sent them home for April and May. We've just reconvened in June, and we're starting to hear some great signs from the federal government, from the state government, from the city government. I'm just thrilled that the NCAA allowed us to start recruiting again on June 1st. We had 2 official visits. We had an official visit June 1st and June 2nd. We had an unofficial visit June 3rd. We've got 2 official visits, June 4, 5, and 6. We got another official visit next week, June 7, 8. The players have all returned for finals, even though finals are virtual. So we're starting. Hopefully, this is a true light at the end of the tunnel when you hear that the Chicago Cubs next Friday on the 11th of June are going to play to full capacity without masks. I just hope that means the rest of the city of Chicago and DePaul will be able to start to allow some freedoms for those of us that have been vaccinated.
You have the opportunity now going forward. You'll be playing it at Wintrust Arena full time here soon. What's it going to mean for this program to have certainly the best arena in the Big East as your home floor for all home games?
We're very excited and we're very thankful to our athletic director, Dwayne Peavy. We're thankful to the DePaul administration because it takes a commitment to play at Wintrust. And as you stated, Wintrust is the absolute best arena in the Big East and one of the absolute best arenas in the country. And DePaul invested an awful lot of money into that arena. And we invested in that arena to help the city of Chicago. We are helping the city of Chicago. We are helping McCormick Place. So, we've invested in that great arena. It's going to be a great opportunity for the people of the city of Chicago to witness women's basketball close up. It's got great ability for everybody in the city to get to Wintrust much more conveniently than to get to Lincoln Park. I say all this with a heavy heart leaving Lincoln Park. You know, we've been in Lincoln Park. I was blessed to play for Coach Ray Meyer at Old Alumni Hall. We've been here at the McGrath Phillips Arena and the Sullivan Athletic Center for over 20 years. So we leave Lincoln Park with a heavy heart. At the same time, we do have to respect where we're trying to take the program, and we're trying to take the program to a place. We've taken the program to a top 25 place. We're trying to take it to a top 10 place, and we feel like what the Wintrust Arena offers us from an amenities perspective and from a high level college basketball experience perspective, this is where we have to be to take this program to the next level.
Well, you've sort of alluded to it. Athletic Director Dwayne Peavy always talks about dreaming big within the department. I know the women's basketball program, that's no exception. So I guess, what does it look like now for DePaul women's basketball to go from top 25 to being that top 10 program you know it can be?
Well, it's always about the players. And you know, we're talking about the seasons here, and we haven't talked about, you know, Sonia Morris and Lexi Helt were all Big East players, and they were also voted the most outstanding players on our team this season, and they return next season. And you know, they had very good years, and we just expect them to be getting better. We also returned two seniors in Deja Church and Dee McKelja, two players that are kind of unsung players in our program that have really made great contributions. Jory Allen was a transfer from Indiana. Her dad, Jeff Allen, played here at DePaul, and Darian Rogers were both mainstays in our minute mix last year, and really, you know, they just really brought great energy to our program, and so we return a great nucleus, and then we are adding 5 newcomers, 2 transfer portal, 2 transfers that you alluded to. A 5th-year transfer from Rutgers is Takia Mack. She attended Marshall High School on the west side, played for the great coach Dorothy Gators, and she brings a toughness. She was an all Big Ten defender, and there was only 5 of those. They only have 5 of those in the Big Ten. And so she was a really good defender, averaged 11 plus points per game, good rebounder. And so she's going to bring a toughness and a defensive presence that we, you know, when we got beat at the end of the year, we did not defend well, we did not rebound well, and we did not share with the traditional sharing that DePaul ball is noted for. So I think that Takia is going to help us there. Kiara Collier is a 4-year transfer from Drake University. Her eligibility status is still up in the air, and it's pending a transfer waiver that we have to apply for, because this will be her 3rd school. She attended Washington as a freshman, Drake University for 3 years, and now her transfer to DePaul. Takia Mack will be eligible immediately. And then 2 very good freshmen. Caitlin Ammons comes to us from West Virginia as one of the best players in the state of West Virginia at 6'3". She'd give us some great rebounding presence and strength. And she can also stretch the floor and make a 3. Anissa Morrow might be the best player to come out of the city of Chicago that DePaul's landed in the history of our program. And, you know, that's hard to say when you've had someone like Kim Williams. Kim Williams is really a great DePaul player, a great Chicago player. So it's going to be hard to be better than Kim Williams, but still, Anissa's got that kind of talent. She led Simeon to a state championship in 2020 before the pandemic. Her 21 season was really cut short, but she's a special player that's a multidimensional player. Her sister Nazla is a junior college transfer from Miami-Dade. She also played at Simeon. So you got 2 freshmen in Anissa Morrow, Caitlin Ammons. You've got a junior college transfer, Nazla Morrow, and then two portal transfers in Takia Mack out of Rutgers and Kiara Collier out of Drake. So there's 5 new players returning to our 6 really strong returning players. So I just think we have a really good chance here to take this program to another level. It's always about the players.
Sounds like you have a reason to be chomping at the bit, though, to get ready for practice, because there's going to be a lot of battles for minutes, it sounds like, with the depth that you return and a lot of talented players coming in.
And the way we play, we need that depth. And I think one of the reasons we kind of gassed out at the end last year was our lack of depth. So we really are excited about the depth that is returning to the program.
Well, Doug, looking forward to exciting upcoming season, but thank you so much for giving us a little update here over the summer.
Thank you, Leo, for your time, and let's go to